Hello, and we are out here live at the Celebrate Diversity block party. I'm Timber Smith, and I'm with
Angie Lee.
That's right, and we are going to ask some questions today as people walk by, whoever we can talk into sitting down and spending time with us. I can't say this is a fabulous event out here.
There's a lot going on.
There is a lot going on, and there's really good food. That's what I'm going to say. So we got our first guest.
Guinea pig.
Come on now, guinea pig. That's not fair. Well, maybe that's very fair. Can you please introduce yourself to the audience?
Hello, everyone. My name is Sridhar. I am a past governor of Rotary and currently working with Timber on some projects like Rhythms of the World. I'm sure we will visit that very soon. Yeah.
Yes. Sridhar is being very modest. That's what Sridhar is doing. Sridhar is also a former professor at UW-Oshkosh and many other things in the community. So our question is, we have two. What does community mean to you?
Community is where you feel you belong there. You can thrive. You don't have any fear. On the other hand, you celebrate your own legacy and see it fit to appreciate others' cultures, others' backgrounds, and make them your own. So for me, community is about synergy.
Ooh, I love that word, synergy.
I like that a lot, too.
There's a lot of synergy here.
There's synergy here.
Yes.
Okay. Angie, you can ask the next question.
Okay. The theme of this block party is You Belong. So what does belonging mean to you?
Belongingness means I don't have to think twice before I interact with people. I don't have to second guess how I will be viewed, judged, whether I will be included. No, I don't. I mean, like when you wake up every morning at your home, do you feel you belong there or you feel alienated? So that is the negative. So for me, belonging is about self-affirmation as also affirming others in the community. So when you do that, you don't have any fear of others and you reach out and enrich yourself and enrich the community. That is belongingness to me.
You use the word self-affirmation. So how do you make others feel like, how do you affirm their belonging in a space?
Well, what I feel is unless you have rooted out fear from your own, you are not going to make others feel comfortable. Once you are comfortable under your skin and who you are, and yes, we all have certain weaknesses and all that, but that should not overpower us. So we all bring some gift. And are we ready to share that gift? When you feel confident that you can share that gift, that's what I call self-affirmation.
Oh, that's so beautiful.
I love that. All right, one last thing, Sridhar. Shout-outs. Do you got any shout-outs you would like to give to anyone? Anyone you'd like to recognize right now?
Can you repeat that question? I lost you there.
Do you have any shout-outs, thank yous?
Oh, yes, absolutely. I mean, in this community, what you see is around us, it has taken years to build. Okay? I still remember, I shall not name, a mayor in this area, when he first attended something similar to this, what's called the Foods of All Nations, he couldn't believe there was so much diversity in Nina or Menasha. So somebody reminded me, you have to get out a little more. From that stage, today, people throng, people feel comfortable, people move around, people share. To me, the biggest thanks are to some of the leaders who made this happen.
Like you.
Oh, well, I'm only part of it, But there are, for instance, CDFC comes to mind. Before that, we had Fox City's Rotary Multicultural Center. So a number of leaders who made it possible. And it's true. We stand on the shoulders of many. And thank you all.
Thank you.
Beautiful.
Hello. Can you please introduce yourself?
Well, I'm Jody Harrell, and I arrived at that name because my real name is Joanne, and my mother at kindergarten said I had to choose, but she called me Jody as a little kid. So my mother said I had to choose, and then they didn't go by your birth certificate at school, so you could be who you wanted to be.
Oh, really?
So I chose to be Jody because Jody could play in the mud, and Joanne had to sit on a chair and fold her hands and be quiet.
Oh, my God.
So Jody could be out in the mud, and I taught art and ceramics and all that kind of stuff, so I think it kind of fits.
You were an educator. You were an educator for a long time,
Yeah,
right?
I still am.
Still am. That's true.
Still am.
Once you're an educator, you're an educator for life.
Well, with the diversity stuff, you're always taking the opportunity to help people see bigger, to see broader, to understand better.
Mm-hmm. And Jody, when you say you're an art teacher, you live and embody your art. I love your glasses. You're always wearing something very colorful and bright and fantastic.
Well, art is a way of being and a way of thinking. And when I worked with kids at school, they always had an idea, and the idea gets started, and they get excited about the idea. Whether it was diversity or art pieces in the classroom, they get an idea. And then they got to that crash point where the idea wasn't coming, and so my thing was to help them embrace the idea and let's figure out how we can make this happen and make suggestions, open it up. Okay, so here at this event, I've been talking with people from Plexus who are helping us here, but I met the DEI person from Plexus, and I'm going to go and use the things I've learned about the community and community organizations, community partners that we're trying to work on. And we have all of those things to weave together. So it's still doing like an art project where you're bringing all the components together and then letting it evolve and help us be bigger and see each other more lovingly.
So we have a question.
Okay.
Our question is, what is community to you?
Community. I think if people being together, sharing who they are. My concept of community is to have it be so it's welcome for all, that not just belonging so that you have to fit in a group or have certain components of belonging, but that community embraces the individual in each of us, so that the community is a comfortable place where we can come and I can be my silly, creative, whatever self in that space and with those people. And they're not looking at me like, oh, that's really weird or whatever. So I went through that, and then the art room became, when I was a kid, what became a place where it was a community of us that belonged together. And then we were able to expand that out, and so I took that to my teaching, because I had all different kinds of people and working in the community. This is a community. This is an amazing community today. There's all these people have come together. We've talked about this idea. This has brought these people together, but it's just fascinating. You know, we have the families that came with the kids that are doing the Dragon Race, and we have the Fox Valley Symphony Orchestras contributing music, and all these organizations are meeting kids, and we're having conversations, and it's a safe space, and we're tasting foods that are from different areas, and we had two groups come together to plan this event, we've managed to maintain what we felt was important and what they felt was important. And people from the foundation are thrilled when they came to see, because we've been talking about this for 6 months. And I'm just amazed at the breadth of community. This is community. This is the Fox Valley. Come and see us. This is who we are.
Yes. And I'm looking around, and there's just so much going on for kids, for all ages, and so many different kinds of people who've showed up and just having a good time, being together.
A great time.
Yeah.
The kids, when the Celtic music were on, the little kids that were sitting there doing this, dancing, moving to, like clapping their hands, and getting into it. And there was a lady sitting doing footsteps under the table.
Awesome.
Just great fun. Mm-hmm. So anyway, this is a good thing.
It is a good thing.
Yep.
You mentioned the word belonging, and something we're asking our guests is, what does belonging feel like?
I've been debating this this a lot. I think for me, in the most loving sense, is that we do belong because we're human beings together. And if we can see a commonality, we belong with each other and care about each other. I don't think that necessarily happens, and sometimes I see, well, I want to belong to this group, or I want to belong to this social group. And so I battle with that. When we use belonging, I think we need to clarify it, that it doesn't require us to have to be like someone else to belong.
We don't have to fit in.
That I don't have to be a certain social type situation or a certain kind of person to belong in that. All of us, I feel today, belong in this event. And I don't see a qualification to have to.
That's what I was going to say. What I hear is, what I think you're kind of saying is, to truly belong is that you don't need a qualifier. You belong because you're here.
Right.
You're embraced.
Right.
Just as you are.
Or you're interested in being part of what's going on.
Yes.
And I think if we use that, like Imagine Fox Cities has used, the concept of belonging, we're building a conversation with Celebrate Diversity where we're trying to help people define what that belonging means, to get together and have a conversation about what does that mean. Does it mean that I have to qualify in some way to belong to that group? And so, anyway.
We love it.
Good.
That was
Thank
beautiful.
you, Jody.
Thank you, Jody.
You did a good job of making.
Okay. We got another great guest. Angie, we're getting good at this.
We are getting good at this.
All right. Can you please introduce yourself?
My name is Tony Bellman. I live in Menasha, Wisconsin here, and I work for Outagaming County Highway Department.
Yes. What do you do for the highway department, if we can ask?
I'm a heavy equipment operator. I'm on the grade crew. We do full road reconstruction.
All right. That's awesome.
I love the contrast that you do like heavy construction, but you have these like beautiful nails. Like we have matching.
Yes, my wife is in charge of the salon at Fox Valley Technical College, Trilogy Salon and Spa. So I go in and have the students help them meet their quotas, and in turn I get to have a spa day.
Awesome.
Oh, I want an invite.
You are more than welcome.
All right, so we have a question, a couple of questions. And the first question is, what does community mean to you?
Community to me, community is not only a place where you live and interact with the people around you every day, but community is a sense of belonging or being. It's about knowing who's around you, meeting people that are of like-minded, and even when they're not of like-minded, it's getting together for a common goal.
I like that.
So, Tony, what does belonging feel like to you?
Belonging can feel different to everybody, I think, but for me personally, belonging is acceptance. That's acceptance of who you are and what you believe and where you think you belong within your community and with your peers. I think the biggest part of belonging is lack of judgment, taking people for who they are, even if you're across the aisle or on the same side. I think we all have the same common goal in life. I think the path getting there may differ amongst people, but I think most of us want the same outcome.
I would agree with that. Big time. That's well put. All right. One last thing. Shout out. You get an opportunity to shout out anyone you would like to, or whatever you would like to shout out.
I think my shout out would definitely have to be to my wife. We are both on our second marriages. We were in this a long time together, and we both found that both with community and belonging, we get together very well because of lack of judgment. We take each other for exactly who we are, and we agree to disagree when we need to, and we both have the same goals in life.
Awesome, Tony.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay. Once again, Angie, what am I going to say?
You don't know how you get these amazing guests.
Facts. Just facts. Don't know.
I listen to your podcast. I know.
Yes, there are certain things we do say. So at this time, we're going to ask, we got two guests, and we're going to ask them both to introduce themselves. So let's start with.
All right. I'm Hilary Haskell. I live in Appleton, and I am the executive director of an organization called CARES Fox Cities, which works in the equity and education space. And I'm also providing some strategic direction to an immigrant and refugee task force called Hope and Help Together.
You're busy.
A little bit.
Facts.
I'm Jake Woodford. I'm mayor of the city of Appleton, and I am Hilary's spouse.
That's really you should have led with that.
Yeah, that's the real title.
That's the real title.
Yeah, I staff Hilary.
Depends on the season.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
All right. So our question that we've been asking is, what does community mean to you?
To me, community means love.
Can I hit the applause button for that?
Oh, wait.
Yes.
Facts. That's so good. That just, how do you even expand?
You don't. You just leave it at that.
You leave it at that. All right.
That's how I'm feeling right now. Like, how do I follow that? Love. Yeah, there's a wholeness, a fullness to community and to the word community that is hard to explain in a concise way. It's a huge word, and it means many things. And what I love about the word community and the idea of community is that that definition can shift, and it does shift all the time, depending on the context. But I think it does all come back to love. It comes back to love, care, compassion.
All right.
Love that. Our follow-up question is, what does belonging feel like to you?
A seat at the table.
Hillary, you're just going hard. just concise,
yes.
like
Concise,
a surgeon.
full.
Boom.
Yes.
With it. Yeah.
It's concise and all-encompassing.
To me, belonging means you don't have to explain. You don't have to explain if you belong.
You just
are.
You just are.
Just are.
Yep.
I love that. Ooh. Okay. That was too good. It was too good.
Stop here.
Yeah. Let me get some more. All right. So we got one last thing, and that is shout outs. You get an opportunity here to do some shout outs. Who you want to shout out?
I want to give a shout out to Celebrate Diversity. They've been in the work for a long, long time in the Fox Cities, and today just seeing all these people around and seeing the mix of people here in the community is a testament to that work, that long-serving work that they've been doing in the community, because they've done many events over the years and in the past where not many people showed up, and where it was a grind, where it was really hard, where I'm sure they questioned whether what they were doing mattered or made a difference in the community. And so today, looking around at all the people here in this beautiful park on the water in Menasha, I hope they feel it too, but I just want to give a shout out to Celebrate Diversity for putting this together and sticking with it.
Hilary?
I am thinking about kind of some of my elders and mentors who have, like Jake was saying about Celebrate Diverse Fox Cities, they have kind of sustained this space and welcomed youthful perspectives to make sure that it stays.
Awesome. Thank you.
Beautiful.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, we're back, and we definitely got lucky enough to find us another great person to do an interview with. Now, just to give color on what's going on around us, there's these amazing dancers. So that's the music in the background that's happening. Angie, do we know the name of the dancers?
I just know that they're doing a traditional Chinese dance, and this is the organization NUCA, which stands for Northeast Wisconsin Chinese Association. And what she is performing is a traditional dance, but I don't know the name of it.
It's fantastic.
It is fantastic.
All right, but once again, we have this amazing guest. Can you please introduce yourself?
All right. Dana Johnson. I always say Dana Johnson from Wisconsin because that's fun and rhyming. Local person, own a business here in town, a little salon with my husband, identifying the LGBTQ community. Super excited. Called Appleton home for 9 years now, and celebrating Diversity Fox Cities today. So that's exciting.
It is exciting.
Yeah.
It's an amazing event. So our question of the day is, what is community to you?
Yeah, I think, for me, community is a place to where you grow with everyone, right? You partner with individuals. We collectively create our lives and our little universes together. I think it is a place that creates a sense of belonging for folks where they can show up as their authentic selves and get support from one another. I think it's a place full of culture and amazing, diverse food and opportunities like today where we get to kind of come together and celebrate those things and get to meet new people every day. That's community to me. And support. Lots of support.
Support. Beautiful. So you use the word belonging. What does belonging feel like to you when you know you belong?
Yeah, I like Timber's first word of authenticity, right? When you can show up at a table and people, how you present, the things that you talk about, the way that you dress, the way that you show up, people embrace that. They celebrate it. They encourage whatever choices, whatever you bring to the table, whatever love experience for me. So that sense of belonging, that idea that I feel safe, that I can show up in my authentic self, not be judged, right? No one likes that. But also free to learn from the trespassers that sometimes happen with the things we're describing. So, sense of belonging. Love it.
Beautiful. Thank you, Dana.
Thank you.
We have one more thing.
Okay.
And the last thing is shout outs. You get an opportunity to give some shout outs. So is there any one thing you want to shout out?
Well, I'll give shout out to the planning committee of this event. This is awesome. Like, this park is beautiful. The food was really amazing. Even grilling of my vegan hamburger was really good. So that was really awesome. And I just love that all the sponsors that showed up, and it takes a whole village to literally make events like this happen. So
it really does.
Thanks for and thanks for having a live broadcast, because that's exciting, right?
Yes.
And it's been sad we haven't necessarily been able to do this the last 3 years.
Well,
So,
you know what
here
I'm
we
going to
are.
say? The weather, the powers that be, well, the weather was awfully good to us today.
Yes,
Because
it's
it is
beautiful.
gorgeous.
Yeah, it's beautiful. And the air quality is not too bad today. Not wildfires.
Facts. Thank you.
Yes,
Thank you, Dana.
All right, see you soon.
All right. We're still
go.
going.
We
We're
are.
going strong.
We are.
Yeah.
So many people.
People aren't.
here.
Hey, I'm just happy people aren't scared to sit down with
I think we're approachable.
I feel approachable.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to give it to the T-shirts.
And our smiles.
Well, yeah. Okay, smiles over T-shirts. I'll give you the smiles first. All right. So we've got our next guest. Can you please introduce yourself?
Okay, my name is Fanni Xie, and I'm a small business owner. I own a downtown bubble tea shop called Uni Bubble Tea, and at the same time, I'm the president of the Northeast Wisconsin Chinese Association.
Oh, awesome.
I gotta give Fanny a shout out and Uni Boba Shop. It is so delicious. If you have not been there,
Facts.
you gotta go and try their rainbow unicorn.
Yeah, unicorn.
Cloud Dream. Like they have the best
Yeah.
names, the best flavors, and so good.
It is so good.
And then I have a little secret to tell. I haven't told anybody yet.
What?
We are getting a food truck. So maybe we can travel further, like Green Bay or Oshkosh.
You got to come to the
Come
Kosh.
to the
Yeah.
Oshkosh, please.
The Kosh. You will be. I don't think we have a place that serves bubble tea.
No, not a
Yeah,
standalone.
yes or no. There's restaurants that serve bubble tea.
Okay.
Yeah.
Some restaurants. All right.
But not like a boba specific cafe or shop or
Definitely not anybody mobile.
Yeah,
Okay.
awesome to hear.
That is fantastic.
Thanks for sharing the news with us.
So we have 2 questions. And our first question is, what is community to you?
Okay, community to me is something you can relate it to. For example, for me, I belong to the veteran community because I can relate it to the military experiences with other veterans, and then when we are together, we're a community. And then I'm a small business owner, and then for that, I belong to the small business owner community. And I'm a mom, of course, I belong to the mom community. And there's physical community where, I live in the Fox City, and then that, it's a community itself. And there's many identities that I have that I can relate it to others. So as long as you can find something you can relate it to one of the identity you can find in the society, then that is a community.
I love that definition. So how do we take that further? And when you're in your community, what does belonging feel like?
Belonging that's a word I think about a lot because I'm a first generation immigrant, and since I joined the Army, I had to find my identity again as an Asian, as a veteran, as a female veteran, which is unusual for my community sometimes. And then it's the same thing that I have to find friends, family, or people around me that can be related to, have an identity similar to me, and then I can find that belonging part. Belonging is something that identity, just like I said before, an identity you can relate with in the community. Yeah.
Yeah, I love that.
So,
Go ahead.
oh, no. You
Well,
go ahead.
we were going to ask, who do you want to give a shout out to?
First of all, I want to give a shout out for you two. I think, yeah. Since I started to focus part of my career in DEI, in small business, you two gave me a lot of inspiration, a lot of ideas, a lot of things I'm doing right now was encouraged and planned or even bring out by you guys. First of all, the Dragon Boat Festival, of course. Actually, Timber gave me the idea of that, and that's how I started. And once we get started, Angie is the main planner for that festival. So I think we really have a common goal here to promote diversity culture in the area, and I'm really happy about that. And then I want to give shout out to Kyle, which you can see behind you in a red clothes. You can see him in the red clothes because he's our dragon tail in the dragon dance. He studied several years in Taiwan, and he participated a lot in our community as Chinese culture dances. So he has been in any performances we have since we have the dragon dance team. Of course, the other shout out is for all the staff, all the members, all the volunteers of NUCA, the Northeast Wisconsin Chinese Association. Since I have the idea and restructuring of the organization, our volunteers, our staff has been support me every step of the way. I'm saying, there's an event, we gotta go perform, we gotta go demonstrate, and they are there right away.
Wow.
Yeah, as you can see today, all the dances, all the volunteers, you can feel that strong community, the connection with us. That's the belonging part. We are part of this community, and we come here to present our culture.
Yes. You all have done a few dances already, and they've been amazing. Yeah, I'm so impressed. Yeah, let's give them applause.
Thank you, Angie. Why did I say Angie? Fanny. Thank you, Fanny, for spending time.
Thank you, Fanny.
Of course. Yeah. Thank you.
All right,
we're jumping back in.
We are here.
I feel like it's the smiles.
It's
the smiles.
Yeah.
The smiles. Well, that and promises we got people to make us when we first got here.
And the good food has filled our bellies, and
yes,
we're in a good mood.
Yeah.
Next year, if you get an opportunity to attend the event that Celebrate Diversity hosts, be sure to do so because it's amazing.
It is. Amazing. Good feels.
All right.
Good vibes.
So, this is our next guest. Can you please introduce yourself?
Hello. Yes, I'm Ernesto Gonzalez, interim director for Casa Hispana.
All right. So we got a question for you, and our first question is, what does community mean to you?
That has a lot of meanings. In a wider perspective and in a smaller perspective, I guess, interim perspective. It's just, but they all are interconnected, like the circles of Olympia, they're all interconnected. And as you see, the circles of Olympia is multicolored, so it just fits that to me that within a smaller community, a neighborhood is considered a community, and they're interchanging of events and daily smiles and hellos, morning and evening. It creates that community, a sense of safety because we all belong here and we all hopefully enjoy our company, and so we.
I like the emphasis on hopefully.
Yes, right, because we've heard otherwise, but. In a wider, and then the circle starts like the pebble in the water starts widening out into a community within the city where we come in contact with each other and in different organizations and events that happen, and we greet each other, such as today, right? A diversity celebration, and so that brings a mixture of cultures and a mixture of friendly gestures that, and you said smiles. It's got to be, and that's the number one thing, because if I see you smile, I think I see that you must be happy about something, and you're not frowning at me, so that I can have that welcoming feeling, and that's community. Yeah, that the welcoming feeling, the feeling of belonging there, and so it spreads out that sense that it stays within. It stays within, and it's shared. So it's beyond community. Then wherever we travel, we bring that with us. That sense of security, that sense of community, that sense of loving and sharing. That really just makes it more coherent, more concrete about who we are and where we fit, and it asks us, what do you want to contribute? And that's with that in our hearts, we can willingly contribute, because we have received all these welcoming gestures of community.
You know what I love about this? Oh, go ahead. Let's do the applause. Yes.
I think there's applause.
Yes. What I love about this is, as we sit with different people, they're giving us their own definitions of community. And this is the first, I think, I've heard where you've brought up this idea of like gestures and smiles and what community looks like, from a facial perspective of like, when you're in community.
Body language.
Body language,
yeah. Body language.
I love that.
It's big. Body language is big. So, that's who we are as humans, right?
Yeah.
So let's take that one step further. And you mentioned belonging. You talked about safety. You talked about security, gestures. So what does belonging feel like when you belong?
Yeah, it's all those things. It is a sense of secureness, that where I am, in the spot that I am accepted as who I am. We have that diverse backgrounds, be racial, be sexual, or whatever, but in spite of what I believe, it's all about accepting the person as who the person is, so that they can feel a part of where they are, where I am. I cannot exclude anybody, because we are made to be together. So that's what it means to me, is that we belong. We by nature we belong together, so that we should embrace that. But sometimes it's a struggle, and I think we have to find ways to struggle with it and make that fit, so that we can embrace it.
Beautiful.
Thank you.
Yeah.
All right.
One last thing. You get an opportunity to do some shout outs. Who would you like to shout out?
Who do I like to shout out?
Who would? Yeah, yep. Any thank yous to anyone you'd like to say thank you to? Any shout outs to acknowledge anybody doing good work?
Oh, wow. Well, I think let me shout out for the divine, because like I said, we were created in his image, her image, and then of course everybody, all the leadership that is within here, and not last but not least, you both for being that voice out there, or for being that instrument of putting that voice of people out. I think that's really, really beautiful that we get that opportunity to give our voices, right? So
Platform.
thank you.
We all need a platform.
So do a little applause there.
Oh, okay. I like that.
Gracias.
Yes.
All right, thank you.
Thank you. All right.
We're back.
We're back. And Angie's got a theory that our smiles talk people into coming and sitting down with us.
I would say yes.
Aw.
That's what it is. Maybe that's part of belonging.
You're stealing my answer.
Oh, am I still in the end? All right. So once again, we have more great guests. Can you please introduce yourself?
I'm Tim Hanna from Appleton, former mayor of Appleton for 24 years. Retired in 2020 from that job.
From that job. Still not done, right, Larry?
Oh, heck no. No, I'm not done.
All right.
And I am his trusty sidekick, Lisa Hanna, and I'm from Appleton. I've worked in financials for 34 years.
Oh.
And still work in financials, but we do a lot for the community. So I work for Fox Communities Credit Union.
She works for one of the sponsors of the
I work
event.
for one of the sponsors.
Beautiful.
And Fox is so involved in supporting the community when it comes to Toys for Tots and Bike to the Beat. And so we're out. We have Monday actually off this week to go and support and volunteer out in our community. And
Awesome.
so all the staff is out doing good things on Monday, and that's why we have Monday off, which is good.
Oh, that's awesome. So there's a built-in day of service.
Yes, and we take it to heart, and there's all different organizations that Fox Communities team members are out and helping out, whether it's shelters or there's some places that need gardening done, and so they're all over.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we have two questions, and our first question is, what does community mean to you?
You want to start or you want me to start?
Mine will be shorter, so I'll start.
Okay, all right.
I would say community means to me that you feel embraced wherever you go, that diversity is supported, and everybody gets along and is there to do good things and make good things happen in your cities, your towns. That's community to me.
Beautiful.
Oh, community. I use that word a lot in my 24 years. And as Timber probably knows, the mission of the city of Appleton is to meet the needs of the community and enhance the quality of life. And community was a word that was chosen deliberately. And I used to talk about this a lot, that you can't define community by lines on a map. I can tell you where the city starts and stops, but a community is about relationships. It's about people. And so, you know, as you work for the city, your job is to meet the needs of the community. Not just the city, but the community. And the community is people. And it has led to so many different things that we get involved in, regardless of where people live. We live all over the Fox cities, but we live in one community. And, you know, a community is a place where people take responsibility for each other, where they care for each other. Community is something that we teach our children. So, I mean, there's so much depth to that word, but it really revolves around people and their relationships and how they relate to each other. I recently spoke to a group who was going to spend a year studying cities, and they asked me to come and talk to them. And I challenged them on this very topic, to rather than just think about cities, the big cities of the world, think about communities and how those cities made different because they have a different feeling. There's a different feeling when you go there. You can feel it. When you come into the Fox Cities, there's something here. And that something can probably, first of all, be defined by, there's a really strong sense of community here that, for whatever reason, not as strong in other places. So it's something that we need to understand and that we need to protect and that we need to promote. This event is an awesome representation of that. And I'm thrilled to see the turnout today. This is, in the times that we're living, to have this happen says something really positive about our community.
Yes.
Lovely. Our follow-up question is, what does belonging feel like? Because today's theme is You Belong. What does that mean? What does that feel like?
I would say belonging feels like a warm embrace. It feels like you are welcome everywhere you go. It doesn't matter where you visit, who you talk to, what store, what restaurant, what city, what town. You feel, and I would say especially in where we live, you feel like you belong. You feel like you're part of making things happen. You feel like you make a difference, is what I say. And Tim mentioned that you don't always get that everywhere, and it's bizarre when you don't because we're so used to it around where we live, and we noticed it, and it's just, in our travels, and we've noticed it, and it's crazy. We'll get back to the Fox Cities or Appleton or anywhere, we get back into town, we're like, oh my God, we're back, we're home. So belonging is also feeling home, I think.
Back home.
Yeah.
So belonging, to me, there's several words that come to mind. One is family. The other one is home. A sense of belonging is when you're in a place and it feels like home, right? Home is where we go, where we feel safe, where we feel accepted. And you mentioned smile before, and I chuckle because it's one of the things that I do without thinking about, and that is on the street, you're passing people, and I look at them and I smile at them, no matter who they are. And I was actually talking to your predecessor about it, and she said, a lot of people don't do that, especially if it's somebody that doesn't look like them. I do it on purpose. And it's amazing the response you get. And a lot of times they don't know who I am.
Right. It makes a huge difference. I've noticed it on College Ave.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
When you're
you
walking,
pass people and you just smile at them. They'll smile back.
Some of
Hey,
them
have a
actually
great
say
day.
hello.
Yeah.
There's a lot of there's a lot of hellos.
Yeah.
At least in
When
my
you smile,
experience.
mine too. I would agree.
So the other thing is, I love the theme, but it's something we really need to continue to work on here because not everyone does feel like they belong. We know that, especially people of color, the LGBTQ community. We've heard still struggles with their sense of belonging in our community, and so we need to continue to work on that. And I'll say it, as white people, we need to work harder on that.
Absolutely.
And to make sure that we are sending the messages to everybody that you belong here. We still have a ways to go. we do a good job, but we still have work to do here.
It still baffles me that we have work to do.
I think there will always be work to do.
We will always have work.
Absolutely.
I know, but it's just, to me,
Absolutely.
it's the concept. I mean, Tim and I have had great conversations about it, and it's so simple. People are people to me. I mean, it shouldn't matter what group or who you are, or where you're from, you just treat everybody respectfully and get to know them for who they are.
People are interesting. Every person has a story.
Oh yeah,
Yes.
And that's what I love, is to get to know a person and get to know their story.
Interesting.
It's fascinating to me. So it scares some people.
It does.
But we're working on it, and so you said I get a shout out. I will do a shout out real quick.
Yeah, let's get your shout outs.
To Imagine Fox Cities, because they are working on that very question of belonging. They've done a lot of work on it. They've done a lot of surveys. I think they've raised awareness that, hey, we're not really where we would want to be as a community, and kind of leading the way on, we're trying to figure out how can we get better. So I love the work that they're doing. Some of it's based in science, and the other is just based in, just being out there and raising awareness that we have work to do.
All right. And Lisa, any shout outs?
I'll give a shout out to my husband for helping open my eyes to a lot of things since we've been together. And that's been a long time when you think about it. I still like you a lot. So I'll give a shout out to my husband, Tim, for showing me even more culture than what I, had known prior, and opening my eyes to a lot of things. And through him, I guess I've met and experienced so many things. So I'm appreciative for that every day, and I'm a better person for it.
Okay.
I think one big takeaway from this is let's just smile more.
Exactly.
People, right? It sounds so simple, but it's radical to smile at a stranger, and that's how belonging starts.
Some people look at you like you're weird if you smile at them. But most times, like Timber was saying too, you get a, hey, how are you?
Yeah.
I'm fine.
It's,
make it a good day.
if you don't look people in the eye,
Yes.
right? If you're
Eye
looking
contact.
down, you're looking at your phone,
Yeah.
whatever, what message is that sending? Hey, don't bother me, right?
Yep.
They're
No.
in their bubble.
You're out, you're with people, you look them in the eye, you smile, have a great day, hello, whatever. It
My
just
shout
makes
out
a
is
huge
put your phone
difference.
away. Put your phone away.
It makes a huge difference.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Nice to meet you.
Nice meeting you. We are live again, and this time we are here with our friend. Please introduce yourself.
Kyle Armstrong, and I am here at the You Belong Block Party representing inclusion in the outdoors, putting together outdoor gear packs for families around the valley.
Ooh, what's in the outdoor gear pack? What's in there?
They got all sorts of goodies. We got bubbles, we got chalk, we got a frisbee, we got a fan, we got sunscreen.
You had me at Bubbles.
Yeah.
I need one of these.
I can tell you're a bubbles guy, Timber.
It was my favorite thing as a child.
Where did I hear this? Like, you can't say the word bubbles without smiling.
Right. If you try to say bubbles in the most serious tone possible, it's impossible to not laugh. To not
Bubbles.
smile.
Yeah.
Like no matter how angry you make it sound, you're not going to succeed.
Ooh. Oh, yeah. Wait. Ooh. Once again, we have interesting things happening around this.
Yeah. We got to get some environmental sound.
There we go. Okay. So our first question is, what is community to you?
Yeah, I think community's a feeling when you're at ease in a place and with the people there. Like, you feel comfortable going around talking to those folks. You don't have to know every nook and cranny, every person, but you feel comfortable enough to pretty much just be your authentic self in that place, and to be building a circle of humans who offer meaningful experiences for you.
I like the term at ease.
Mm-hmm.
That resonated with me.
I like that you use the word feeling with community. And everyone's been defining it a little bit differently.
Absolutely. Well, we've had a lot of different kind of people.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah, like I just came from Camp Onaway. I was a leader for the past week with the Leadership Training Conference. And so it's a camp for high schoolers. Yeah, we put together every spring. Yeah. Is it spring now or summer? I can't tell.
I'm going to go summer.
Is it summer now? June is summer,
June
isn't
is
it?
summer. June summer.
Okay, well, every summer.
To me.
Every summer we put it together, and we get some really awesome high schoolers and some awesome volunteers together on a 6.5 acre island, and we have a wonderful community there. Like, I feel like I can go up to any of those people during the week and put my arm around them, say hi. We can chat about just about any topic, and see them out at camp. We can do the same thing, even though we only get together for 1 week out of the year. It's like instant community. It's like microwave community. You just pull it out, pop it in, and it's ready to go, and it always works.
That's fun. That's a good analogy.
Yeah, I like that.
Microwave community.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like a frozen dinner. You pull it out, and it's just the magic happens. Now, you need all the people. You need all the people in place. You need all the ingredients. You need the right kind of tool to make it happen. But like, if you get the right pieces together, it can happen really quickly.
I like that idea. Okay, so since we talked about a feeling around community, what does belonging feel like?
Yeah, I think it's interesting to separate those two concepts, belonging and community, because I think you can't have community without belonging, right? It's one of the essential components. If you don't feel like you belong, then you're not going to feel like you're a part of that community. So I would say belonging to me is probably part of that definition I gave you for community. It's that feeling of at ease, where you feel like you have no questions. There's nothing going through your mind that is doubting your presence in that space or with that group of people. That's not even crossing your mind. You're just there in the moment, doing whatever you're doing. And none of your energy is being wasted on questioning your authenticity or your place there. And so you can just be yourself and do whatever you want to focus on, and participate fully in the moment. Hopefully, if you feel that sense of belonging.
That's beautiful.
All right. There's one thing left for you to do, and that is some shout-outs.
Yeah?
Who would you like to shout out?
Who would I like to shout out right now? There's so many.
Hey, you can go. You can go. Go.
Well, since I am looking at one of their staff members right now, I'm going to shout out New Hmong Professionals, who is one of our partners with Inclusion in the Outdoors and the Multicultural Coalition, Inc. They are one of the groups that we are working with to distribute the outdoor packs that we assembled today. So we're working with New Hmong Professionals, People of Progression, and Casa Hispana, all kind of in conjunction with Multicultural Coalition, Inc. to distribute these packs. We got 300 of them. They're going around, and all of those groups are doing amazing things. And we are so lucky to have them working with us in the Valley.
Awesome.
Thank you, Kyle.
Thank you, Kyle.
Thank you.
All right, Timber.
Yes.
We have another great guest with us.
I feel like there's a trend.
There's a trend.
And it has to do with smiles.
Yes. And our guest has a really great smile.
I'll tell my dentist that later.
Facts.
So will you please introduce yourself?
All right. I am Eben Grisby. I am co-chair of Celebrate Diversity Fox Cities.
This is one heck of an event. This.
This is even mind-blowing for me, and I've been doing this over a decade, at least from my involvement, so this is a beautiful thing.
Beautiful thing.
And Eben, did we see you grilling out earlier?
I'm the grill master and the grill master.
You're a grill master.
I'm gonna, you know what? I have to give it to him because anybody that puts in so many hours in front of the grill deserves the title of grill master. That's I can't take nothing from it. Normally, I like to talk some smack. I'm not gonna touch it. I'm gonna leave it alone. Nope. Can't touch it.
But I've also been cooking since I was 6 years old, so I have, if it involves fire, if it involves grease, and if it involves any type of survival skills, I got that.
There you go.
Facts. All right. So, first question. Our first question is, what does community look like to you?
That's a good question. I would say today looks like community to me. I would say for the most part I actually lived at one point just a couple of blocks from this actual space at Jefferson Park. And to see it go from an area where I rarely saw any brown people, any black people, to seeing a mix of everybody, which I think is great. Getting to see just all walks of life, humanity here, just enjoying themselves, partaking in meals, listening to music, just enjoying themselves on a summer day like anybody else. I think community to me is just to make sure everybody feels like that they have a part in this area or a part in the community without feeling like you're trespassing or you're interfering in somebody else's livelihood or ability to be. I just think just seeing people be themselves for a minute and just let their hair down is a wonderful thing.
I like that.
We gotta hit the applause button for that.
I like it.
I do too.
I'm a pretty unpretentious person, so you'll get that.
All right.
So the other question we have for you is, what does belonging feel like?
Ooh, damn. What does belonging feel like? Well, I think feeling like belonging doesn't involve a reservation or making reservations. You should just be able to feel like when you walk into space, the doors are open, but not because, who you are or what you look like, but because you belong in a community where you feel that this is yours. This is as much yours as it is somebody who's been here for generations. I've only lived in this area shy of 20 years, and I will say, if you had asked me that question 20 years ago, I would say, I don't know, I feel like an immigrant here. But if you ask me what belonging feels like, it feels like you having roots, put down roots. You feel like that you see yourself in different aspects of the community. You are spoken to as a member of the community, not a suspect in the community. You're treated with a certain sense of respect. You're allowed to have some level of honest discussion about things. You're willing to be transparent on things, because I think to be in an area where it's not your hometown, it is a little bit more difficult than when you come in and you've been here for generations deep. So belonging is about allowing my humanity to still exist, even when it can be questioned quite a bit, I guess. Unfortunately, I take a bit of a cynical approach, and I shouldn't. But I think belonging should be one where I don't need to have an ID or have to over-explain why I'm here. It should just be, I'm here because I live here and I'm enjoying my life. And I want to just make sure other people realize you are part of this. And if you want this, you got to be able to work and fight for it and keep fighting for it.
That.
Yes.
Wow.
That was good. That was good.
I'm going to keep it deep. We don't play. I don't play.
You don't play? You don't play.
I don't even know how to follow up.
Sometimes
really
I believe they call that a mic drop. All right. Then you know what we got to do? We got one more thing left to do.
Damn. Okay.
Shout out time.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, I got to give a shout out to my spouse. Chuck has been everything for me. And I'll tell you, when you got good family, because a lot of my family's back east and down south throughout the country, you know, having those people who have seen me grow living here, I give a lot of people at CDFC a lot of props. Being active in this community, I think it's super important. I said the Fox Valley really is like a big shout out unto itself, because I've met a lot of people and there are too many damn names to give. And to be honest, if people like Timber have helped me, you know, Jody Harrell and so many other people, I'm going to blank out, so I don't want to leave anybody out. I think everyone from police, mayors, you know, everybody and anybody, if you're willing to be educated, I think that's what the biggest shout out is at that point.
Wonderful. Thank you, Eben.
All right, thanks.
This was wonderful. All right, here we go again. So we keep getting these amazing guests.
I love it. It's facts.
And this guest is no exception, so I'm going to go ahead and let him introduce himself.
Well, thank you. My name is Aaron Gorntz, and I currently live in the north side of Appleton. And I've been a part of this community for 15 years, working at Fox Valley Technical College in a variety of roles, working with international students, study abroad students, diverse students, multicultural students, students with barriers.
Students.
Awesome.
Exactly. Lots of students over 15 years, yes.
That's awesome. All right. You ready for a question?
I can be ready.
Okay. The question is, what does community mean to you?
All right. Well, I can start sort of me personally. Community is a place where I can be out and about and feel comfortable, meet new people, create a network of individuals who are like me and not like me, so I can learn and sort of make me better. If I move it to my family, wife and 3 children who sort of need a community, perhaps now more than ever, and I want that community to be as big as possible so they can learn as much as possible. And for them, they also need to feel safe and comfortable and welcomed and feel like they're a part of something. So doing activities sort of out of the ordinary would be sort of my goal for them. On most days, I want them to do something that they wouldn't normally be doing, right? Mm-hmm. So that's, I guess, community for me.
Yes. Okay, as a follow-up, what does belonging feel like?
So for me, if we want to be sort of visual here, belonging for me is, I would say, in my opinion, easier perhaps than other individuals in our community. And you can, all listening, create an image in your head what that might look like. But I do feel like I can belong in most spaces with the work that I do and the people that I'm around with, and also just me as a person. But what I want to have is that feeling for everybody, and I know that's not necessarily the case for everybody. So belonging would I think first and foremost need to be a safe space where they can be themselves and not have to put on a new face or a new hat to feel like they belong more than they should already feel like they belong. That's what belonging means to me.
Yes. You know, that makes me think of Brene Brown. She talks about the difference between belonging and fitting in. And if you're trying to fit in, then you don't belong. If you're having to change who you are to fit in.
Yeah. That's, yes, exactly.
So belonging is just like showing up and being who you are without having to feel like you have to change for something or someone.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. And I feel like I can shape shift enough as I need to be, which is, for me, that's, I'm not changing a whole lot of myself, but even when I've had the opportunity to travel the world, I can seem to fit in most places that I've traveled to, which may not seem like something that everybody can do, right? And so, but that's over the years too, just being able to meet people and listen to people and do my best to make them feel like they belong or like they're welcome. And that takes time and effort, and some people don't necessarily have the time or want to spend the effort on those sorts of things. And so the more we can get people out to events such as this today, are what is it, 40 something maybe, 40th annual. I think we might have posted that.
Oh, I didn't
think we
know.
might have posted it.
Is it that many?
It's that many. I think it's
Wow.
that many years. That's sort of in the 40s or whatever.
That's amazing.
And so,
Actually, that's truly amazing.
Yeah. And so, bringing people together, sharing food, music, dance seems to work for lots of people, right? And so it was good to see the great turnout this year with Celebrate Diversity of Fox Cities, and the volunteer center of Fox Cities really kind of showed up and brought their network on board too. So it's been awesome.
Awesome. So, Aaron, we're giving guests an opportunity to give shout-outs.
Mm-hmm.
So who do you want to shout out?
I'd like to shout out to Jody and Eben, the co-chairs of Celebrate Diversity of Fox Cities, for continuing on this sort of mission to support the vision of Celebrate Diversity of Fox Cities and the mission to really make these communities a place where everybody feels welcome and that they belong. And they've been doing this work for a very long time. And so shout out to both Jody and Eben. And I think just all the other volunteers that showed up today sort of in hordes, it seems, which is a great thing. I've been to this event for 15-ish years now, and so it's a really great turnout, and the weather turned out beautiful. So, yeah, those are my shout-outs.
Thank you.
Welcome.
All right. Kosh listeners, you know what that means. That means we are wrapping this up. Thank you for spending time with us, giving us your minds, giving us your ears. This was a fantastic event, a fantastic, I don't know, Angie, how should we explain this? It was an experience.
It was. I enjoyed all the conversations we've had today. Yeah, do you have a favorite moment?
Food. No. I'm
the food
kidding.
was good.
I'm kidding.
We didn't talk about the food yet.
We didn't talk about the food.
Yeah.
But more importantly, things are wrapping up, and we figured we better do something for a wrap up.
Well, here's, we asked the same two questions of everyone, like what is community mean to you, and what does belonging feel like? And I just love all the different responses we got.
They were powerful. They were super powerful, and I'm hoping that what you could tell is we had a really, really diverse swath of participation. Like all sorts of people, all sorts of culture, all sorts of everything. Putting these two questions into their own words. I just found power in it.
Absolutely.
So, that being said, I think we're wrapping up. I've never done anything like this, and I haven't had a co-host before, so this was super awesome.
Thank you for inviting me.
Yes,
we had some awesome background noise and sounds, like birds chirping, like music playing, like people laughing and enjoying themselves, and
oh yeah, if you couldn't tell, this was definitely a celebration happening of all sorts, and it was just amazing. So, I don't know. Do we got any words of wisdom? Should we do words of wisdom? I didn't prepare any words of wisdom, so I don't
either. So I've been trying to digest what people said around community, and what I love is that it's so encompassing. Love. So feelings, emotions, gestures, placemaking. I heard safety a lot.
Yes.
Authenticity.
That was used quite a bit.
And belonging just kind of naturally fit in with community.
It did.
And I think an overall theme is belonging is about just showing up who you are and not feeling like you have to be somebody else.
I think I'm just going to end with thank you for letting us be part of your community.
Yes.
Thank you.